Hi everyone. Well, it's been a week. It's the longest time since I've been on YouTube, since I haven't recorded. So everything's fine. Just getting over what do we call it? Wanted to show you an effect that I'm going to do in this last little corner here. And then I have a little bit more up here to do. So that's my plan for today, and I hope you enjoy, and please, if you enjoy, like, comment, share, subscribe. It would mean so much to me. I really hope you're enjoying the content. I'm trying to get better at making content you will enjoy. So let me know if you'd like to see anything different in the comments below. It would sure help. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and keep tangling through anything. Keep tangling. Much love. I hope you enjoyed this new technique, and it comes from Zentangle, and I just loved it. So with that, let's start. I'm going to be using the jelly roll, the Glaze jelly roll. I'm going to be using now, Zentangle recommends a graphite water wash pencil. I can't remember what one they use, but I've always used the Faber-Castell Aquafleur water sketch pencils, so that's just what I have. Now I'm using an HB because when you wet these, they can get very, very dark. So start light. So if you go with a different set, don't think, go jumping right to the 4B, 6B. Even the 2B is dark, but I use the HB if you're using the Faber-Castell. I have got my graphite mini pencil and a micron pen. So really that's all that I need. Oh, and I will use my white charcoal pencil, which I don't have right in front of me, but I will get before I begin. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I love this effect. It is so cool and so few supplies. So that's what I'm going to be sharing. So let's do it. I'm going to pop up the before picture because I had no idea where I was going to go with this. And I'll show you the strings that I began with. I'll put that on the screen when I edit. I also thought of the fairy on the branch as an afterthought. So I had to go back in with some techniques using gesso and color, brush and pencil, colored pencil powder to get it back so that I could get a clean surface to work in again, because this was all tangled underneath. I had no idea I was going to place this fairy here. And I'm going to put it in the tangle here, in the space here. And I'm going to formulate mine. It's going to be this tangle right here, but I'm going to formulate it to fit behind my mushroom. And I'm going to leave a little strip for a transition piece in between. Okay, so I'm working quite small. A 0.01 micron would work just fine. This black dot here, for the life of me, I don't know how it got there. Now I could get rid of it any number of ways, but I'm just going to work with it. So let me begin by first making that outside string like so. And I will connect it over here. I could have done this in pencil to be sure, but that's okay. I'm going to start at this point here and just make curved lines that meet up at the top, loop around like so. Now, because I have an object there, I'm stopping and continuing on. You very likely may be working with a blank, so just ignore my stopping? Okay, I'm going to make another one. I'm going to start at the same point and make another. I'm going to stop because I have an object there, and it would loop out probably about here. And I want to connect these two. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to start at the same point, but I'm going to give myself some room here. And I'm going to make another line. It's more comfortable if you turn your work, but it's harder to see on camera, so I'm just trying to move less. I am always turning, doesn't matter the size. My next piece is going to be quite large, so that one I'm actually going to not be able to work on my desk. Okay, so I want to start at the same point again, up, leave myself some room, go up, around, and connect those two. All right, now I don't really have enough room to fit another one in. I could put a partial one in here if I wanted, but okay, I'm going to start again at the same point, make my next one, coming in over here. I don't have much room to work with over here, so it's coming in behind this tangle, and I want the double bar. I want the lines to go, now start turning this way. So I'm going to make another one, and this time it's going to curl under. I don't have anywhere to top it off. That's okay. Make another one. The key is always starting from the same point. Hook it around. I think what I'm going to do is put in just a partial one on the bottom of each of these, so there isn't so much space, but I'm not going to hook those two together. I'm just going to pretend that it's wrapping under my Xander here. Okay, so that's the basic framework, except yours won't have this black dot. Well, I'm just going to go back and just refine these lines a little bit better. So first what I want to do is I'm going to come in with my Glaze pen. Now you're going to do this and you're going to want to let it dry for a couple of hours because we're going to go over this with the graphite wash. So this tangle I'm going to put in, and it's a little hard to see, but what it acts as, this Glaze pen, is actually a resistance. So when you go over it with the gray wash, it won't take the pencil. So you have, and you can feel it. It's a textured pattern that comes through. Absolutely love this effect. And I'm using the graphite pencil here in a different way. I'm going to tangle over these. So kind of a reversed thing, but this is actually a resist. So anything I put over it is not going to stick unless it is really heavy duty. I could probably find something, but this is the purpose of this pen. The ones that loop over my oval, I'm going to put just a bit of a pattern, a bit of a leaf shape, and I'm going to fill it in. I don't know if you can see that. So all I'm doing is putting little leaf shapes like this and filling them in. and then I'll rotate and go the other way and fill it in. So when that dries, the glaze becomes the resist. I'm going to keep going here. Okay, now, without touching it, I want to go to the next one, which would be this one here, and put those leaf shapes in on this one. And then I want to do this one. I'm going to skip one and continue on. Just a baby one here. I'm going to just do a partial, just to give it the effect. That was my fault because I'm working with so many different medias. That won't happen with just a black micron. That's picking up something else that I did. Okay, and then this one over here would also be a little bit of that texture. I can see it really well. So let this dry, and this will be an interesting experiment because this was not planned. So we'll see what we do with it. I like challenges like that. Again, this whole thing was not planned. So that's the beauty of Zentangle art and drawing in this way, is things just kind of develop and your creativity soars. So it is so fun for me to do and relaxing and perfect for while I was recovering. I can always tangle. So, all right, let's let this dry and we'll come back. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you. It's been about 2 hours, but I'm working on these. Also, these were a special order. They're not done. And the little one that these are for loves to wear 2 different color shoes. So I'm doing one with the more predominant purple and one with the more predominant pink. And oh, they're going to be sparkly. So I am working on these in the background of other things. And the reason I was I've never painted on these type of shoes. I have painted hundreds of ballet shoes. So these are a specific line that I have called Eleeza Pointe Shoe Art. And each one is signed Love, Lorie Fossa. And each one is custom. And there's a butterfly on this one. My daughter used to be a dancer, and we went through tons of pointe shoes. And she actually came up with the idea. It's like, Mom, can you paint pointe shoes? And I'm like, I guess. These are on new shoes. And then I put them on a display when the final product is done. You may have seen them in some of my other videos. That is how I came to be doing these. Which when I first got them, I thought, okay, interesting, I'm not sure. But they're turning out. They're turning out. So that's a work in progress. I have 1 more week till I need these done. That is one of the many projects in the background. So now we can come back to this, and our glaze is dry. So we can proceed with this technique. Now, what's really cool about the water-soluble graphite is how you can spread it over this, and it will resist going over the design element. So what I want to do is lay down, I guess I can still use this one, is I want to lay down I said I'm using my HB. This is from the Faber-Castell Graphite Aquafleur. I love these pencils, and these are the ones I have. So I lay down a pretty thick coat. Make sure you have a tissue by you, or Scott towel. Add a little water and go light, but then just simply fill in right over where you put that glaze and fill up this bar. And you should see the graphite resisting that white, and as it dries it will come through, and it's actually a raised feeling of texture that you get. And you can darken it should you want once it's dry, but I need a little bit more lead here. And this has some texture to it, so it's absorbing. If I used a smoother paper, be a little bit better. I'm just going to darken up. And I can always use a thirsty brush, which is drying out, taking the excess water and soaking up that extra water. And then I'm going to proceed to the next one I did, which is this one. And this dries really quickly. Add a little bit more water. And I'm rolling my pen, my brush. Don't want it so wet, but it acts like a watercolor. It just stays where the water is. But even if it runs out a little bit, we're going to put that Shattuck Tangle in between. And I still have this wonderful black dot that came from I don't know where that I have to deal with. So now you could take a hairdryer and just speed this up if you wanted to. I'm just going to soak up a little bit of the extra water. But it dries. It dries really quick. Within a minute it'll be dry. So I am not going to pull out the blow dryer for that. So let me just give that 1 minute to dry. See, if I use this is a smooth paper, it will not soak up that water as much and will be much easier to work with. See how dark that gets? And just kind of roll your pencil in and can just darken this up. But look how dark that is just with the HB. But that's the difference between using a cotton-based paper that will suck up the water and not let you really pick up a lot of the graphite, and getting up and getting a smooth piece of paper. Lorie. Okay, so now we're ready to put in our Shattuck, and we're going to put them in the blank spaces here. And again, you probably don't have a huge mushroom blocking yours, so just take it to the top. So let's start. Now Shattuck begins at the corner, just making curved lines. And just, I don't know, 3, 4 lines are fine. And then go the other, find a corner and go the other way and make a few more. And again, I'm finding a corner and making them go the other way. Go this way And start over here. And I'll go to my next one. And again, start in the corner. This one, I'm going to squeeze one in over here. Okay, so that is our first part. And just pick the outside, the last line of each of those turns, and go ahead and just give it some weight so it darkens it up. Just the last line, go over it, like so. It's pretty easy to pick it out. So we'll go in and shade those and bring out even more of an effect. But before we do that, let's give some weight to the lines where we have our texture. Now you can do just one side. If you want a more dramatic look, you can just pick one side and use your 0.05 and thicken that line up. I think I know what I'm going to do with this. I am going to use maybe a form of sienna or pepper to bring this tangle off, and that's how I'm going to fix that. This one's not going to have a pearl like this one does. I'm going to just continue on and thicken, and then we'll go in and shade. Just one side, make it more dramatic, popping off the page. Okay. And I like to clean up little things I see along the way. Okay. Now, shading these, really easy. We're going to look first for where our little half moon shapes kind of tuck under. So where the thick line is where the one previous is kind of tucking in. So I'm going to just lay down a little bit of graphite on the side right under the thick line, so that when I use my tortillon, now I'm working really small, so I don't want to lay down too much or I'm going to lose my white. And when you go in with your tortillon and just spread that out ever so slightly, it makes the previous one pop out a little bit more and gives you some variety, contrast. Makes those look a little bit more 3D. Okay, and then one last thing I could do is shade just under the main line, just to push these further back. I'm just rolling my tortillon gently across, so I'm not losing all of the white. So I'm going to just go ahead and let's fill in Sienna. and see how I can recover. Okay. So when you're dealing with this big of a piece, you've got to be flexible. You just never know what's going to come up or where your twists and turns will take you. And then in my final revision, I will either color it or revise it even more. And this piece still has a little bit of a ways to go. I still have some work on the berry and the transition tangles, and then I'm going to be tangling on top over here. But it's getting close, so I'll post it in my community tab when it is all done, and we'll see how it looks when it goes to print. So I plan to use this in some different products. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope you're well. Take care and keep tangling and have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are. Much love. This is Lorie. See you soon.